adjust it.
Put the screen down a little bit. Yeah.
There we go. Does that work?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And then, it's live now.
It is.
Yeah. Yes, it's live now. And then right there, it will show it will show how many people are watching and stuff like that. But welcome, who's ever here. And sometimes it takes a little while to kind of catch up on this side, but Stephanie will be handling the comments.
So Stephanie, I should share to my feed and story.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Also, hi everybody in the chat. I'll pin questions onto the bottom of the screen so you can see them.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh yeah, so if anything comes up, hi. This is Charles. He's doing this with me. This is Charles Cox. He's also a medium, and we teach classes together. For anybody out there who's like, "Ooh, I want to learn how to do psychic stuff." Hi to everybody signing on. And so this Charles. Say
hi.
He's sharing it to his Facebook right now.
Getting this shared everywhere, so try to make this a big party.
It is. It should be a big party. Hello to all you guys signing on and stuff. Tonight we're just gonna talk about some stuff about an upcoming class that we have coming up, but it's also kind of like a Q&A. So if you have any questions about how to trust your intuition or any experiences you've had that you might want to ask about, we're happy to answer those questions and talk about our upcoming stuff that we have. So thanks for signing on, you guys. So just let us know if you have any questions, and then we'll start kind of talking about the class and stuff in a few minutes when there's a few more people on there. And that's it. But you guys are welcome to ask us questions, and thanks for the hearts. Oh, Toby. I just saw Toby motherfucking Jenkins. That's her right there. Toby motherfucking Jenkins. She has a special name, and that's it. She's been dubbed that for all of eternity. Hi, guys.
I've heard you call her that before.
I know.
She's come up in conversation.
She comes up in a lot of conversations. And there she is, just sitting there. And she's going to help me organize stuff next week. And she doesn't even know that that's what she's going to do. Hi. Oh, you said, why do you hear your name all the time? Do you mean hear your name in your head? Or do you just do a lot of people have a similar name? See, wait a minute. So, and that's for Holly Cowgirl. Hi to all you guys signing on. This is Charles. I teach psychic classes with him. And let's see. I'll describe the channels of beautiful ladies. All right. So to answer your question, do you want to go for that or the name?
Are we talking about Toby?
No, we're talking about somebody sent a thing saying, why does she keep hearing our name all the time?
Oh, I thought that was Toby because we said I hear her name all the time. Oh.
No. That is this one, Holy Cowgirl. That's the one. So what? And we'll talk about our class in just a minute. But this way we can answer some questions for you guys, like psychic mediumship questions. But
the question about the name, my experience, I've done this a long time. For those of you that I've not met before, I've done this 40 plus years. And Kim and I used to be in the same office building together, and we've been friends for 15 years, if not longer, at least.
Our souls are old friends.
Yeah, we're old friends. We knew that when we met each other, too. So my experience with spirit is that our entire lives, spirit world is trying to reach out for us, try to reach out to us. They're always there, always want to help us. And it could very well be, if you're hearing your name, this is just that gentle call of a spirit guide or something, some kind of spirit energy, just trying to get your attention. It's fun. Movies are fun. Pop culture is fun. But a lot of the spirit stuff that happens is always, to me, seems very quiet. So this, if you hear your name, hey, it's oftentimes for me, it's look over here, pay attention to this, do this. This just could be spirit trying to call you into the present moment to look at something or pay attention to something.
Yeah. And for me, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And anytime I hear my name, it's always a reminder for self-care because I'm not real good at that. So when I hear my name or when I see my birthday numbers, I always think, okay, fine, I'll take care of myself. So that's what it means to me. So we have similar views about all this stuff. And between the two of us, like he's been doing this over 40 years, I've been doing it over 20 years. And so that's a lot of experience between the two of us. And we have, and you guys are welcome to continue to ask questions, and Steph will post them for us so we can answer them. But just to talk about like what we're doing, our Soul Social class, which this is the second year we've taught together. This will be the second year. And it is introductory, like for people who might be like trying to figure out how to trust their intuition, or people that want to learn how to talk to their loved ones and stuff like that. And it's a weekend, kind of like what do they call it? A weekend intensive. And so in that weekend intensive, basically you're at my office for 2 days with both of us answering all your questions, but also doing some cool shit too.
Doing a lot of stuff, because the purpose of this, you can watch all the videos you want and read all the books you want. But one of the things that Kim and I believe in wholeheartedly is you just got to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we don't call it this, but the weekend is kind of a boot camp, right? We're just going to work you. Saturday night, you're going to go home and collapse in bed because you've been doing readings. And you may think to yourself, oh, I'm not at that place where I'm ready to do readings. You don't know that. And when you come down here and you spend the Saturday and Sunday with us, you will be surprised when you leave on Sunday what you did. And you're going to meet people that are like-minded people. They're fellow travelers. And our last group of people became quite bonded together because you're all learning together. It's fun to be in this environment, to have these discoveries. What's interesting in a group environment, oftentimes you will sit on a question. You think, I'm not going to ask that question because I don't want to sound weird or whatever. And then someone on the other side of the room will ask that question. So there's this group consciousness dynamic going on where you all have the same questions and you start asking them and your answer. Someone will say, oh my God, I was just thinking that. You are learning as a group as well as individually. It's a really powerful experience.
It is. I love it. Cool. And I'm glad that I used to teach this, and I didn't always, I don't teach with a lot of people. So I'm very happy to be teaching with Charles for the second year in a row. Him and Dina and sometimes Anthony, and then that's kind of like my limit. But for any of you out there that are watching this, like, and we're talking about intuition and we're talking about like how to trust yourself, or just kind of like beginner stuff. And so regardless of where you are in your journey with spirit, sometimes classes are helpful. Our class is also hybrid, so you don't have to be in Colorado to take it. You can go online and do it from home as well, the whole entire time, and we're available during that time. And also, I just, out of curiosity, how many of you, oh, she did that for me. So how many of you have felt like you felt your loved ones around, or you felt like you were getting like psychic messages or stuff happening? Like, is there any of you out there who've had some of those experiences, but maybe they haven't been validated, or they haven't been like where you like fully believe it? So if you guys can share that, and Steph is putting little things in here that she said, if you have this experience with a friend whom you were thinking something and they said it out loud. Yep. So if, or they call, or you hear from someone just like randomly out of the blue when you were like sitting there and they just popped in your head, and then all of a sudden they're showing up somehow, whether they're visiting you or you find a picture of them or something like that. You've had that? I've gotten to the point where like I have clients, because I've been doing it, I'll visualize them and then they're scheduling an appointment. It's freaking crazy.
I just had this, there was this kid that came to a class I did like a year and a half ago. Not a kid. To me, everybody's a kid. 25, just nothing. He's not particularly, came to one class. He's not particularly memorable as far as looks or anything about him, but I remembered him. And that's got to be a year and a half or 2 years ago. And about 6 weeks ago, he just crossed my mind. I thought, what the hell, right? He had a name that same first and last name, had same letter first and last
Yeah.
name. So his name kind of rolls off your tongue. And I thought, that's so weird. And a couple days later, not a week, he sent me a text and said, hey, I'm going to be in Colorado. He doesn't even live here when he came here, right? I'm going to be in Colorado. Are you still doing classes? And I was like, so what is going on? Is it a psychic thing? Is he thinking about me and I'm aware of it? Am I thinking about him? And he's like, oh, I'm going to Colorado. And I don't know that there are answers to those
Yeah.
questions, I think in the world we live in, we are encouraged not to pay attention to those things.
Yeah.
Right. So what a weird coincidence. I was just thinking about you.
Yeah.
Right. But this is where our intuition starts.
Yep.
We are all connected to one another. We're connected to people we love. Unfortunately, we're connected to people we don't love. And
True.
I know. Yeah.
True.
So yes, I've had this happen. And being in an environment, for most people, you can't go back to your family and say, I had this weird thing happen, because they think you're something
Woo-woo.
wrong with you. Right.
Mhm.
Again, which is part of the soul social community, is about finding people that are of like mind,
Yeah.
so that you can talk about these things.
Exactly.
And no one's going to be like, oh, dude, Ruth, that is dumb. No one.
I know, because instead they'll be like, "Oh my God, that happened to me too." Let
I
me
saw
tell you the story."
Sasquatch too. Ah,
I
right?
know.
It's like
That's it
crazy.
exactly.
It's exactly.
Or I believe in aliens too. So it's like everybody has like their own stuff that they bring to the table, and you have your own language with spirit. And I think, I don't know, for me, I think that all of my life experiences become my library with spirit. It's like I have a vast library. In addition to books I read and other things I learn or whatever, it's like, how do you explore your mental library and put it to good use? So even like traumatic things, traumatic thing, I can tell you, and I am way outside of this being traumatic for me. Okay. So I just want to tell you this. But a lot of you know me, and my kid's dad died 21 years ago. So I had a reading today with a lady that came into my office, and I saw a lot of that experience with her. And she also had more recently had a husband who had taken his life. And I had remembered that happened when my kids were on their first day of kindergarten. And so he brought up this stuff about kindergarten because his kid was finishing kindergarten this year. And then all the things that had happened to me, there were things that I could tell her. I'm like, oh, wait. I said, I bet you people have said some really dumb shit to you. Like, oh, because his parents are alive. It's like, they may have said something, well, at least it wasn't this, at least it wasn't that. And she knew exactly what I was talking about. And she struggled with similar issues with her son that I have with my youngest. But that was my library. So she didn't have to tell me any of that. I already went through it. So when I tap into it or look at it, then that helps me in readings, whether they're psychic, because it's a little psychic, a little medium, just a little of everything in pretty much all the readings I do.
See, if you can bring that experience to the table, then the shit that has happened in your life now has some value.
Yeah. And it has a purpose.
Has a
more
purpose
bigger.
and some value to it,
Mhm.
and not some shit that happened
Yeah.
back in the past. That's
Yeah.
absolutely right. I have that regularly, where someone will sit down and I'll be immersed back into a memory, and I've just become comfortable with, like, this is where I'm going to start.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, dude, that's where I'm at. Of course,
Yep.
that's where you're at, because that's where I'm at.
That's where
with
you're.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really cool how that happens. So the thing that happens in classes and stuff is it helps validate how you're connected. Do you see that one, Jill Stevens? I used to. Oh wait.
I read that already.
Oh, I didn't. I don't have that kind of attention span. Okay. I used to feel my loved ones occasionally, but not often. Lots of coincidences when their name seems to pop up a lot out of the blue, or something that keeps appearing in my world.
Okay, Jill, I want to tell you a quick story. So my mom has been gone 15 years, and last fall, I'm at King Soopers, and all of a sudden I have this really strong feeling that my mom's with me. My mom was not a homebody, so I don't think she enjoyed grocery shopping. I can't say I particularly enjoy grocery shopping. So I'm kind of walking around King Soopers, puzzled why I'm kind of feeling my mom around. So I'm just getting what I need. I'm not giving it a lot of thought, but it's crossing my mind. I get in line to check out, and as I roll up to the checkout, the lady says, "Hey, did you find everything you were looking for?" And she turned, and I could read her name tag, and it was my mom's name. And I'm like, okay, so I don't have any purpose for why my mom is hanging around me at King Supers, but it validated me
Yeah.
that there's something she was.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted to go grocery
But maybe
shopping.
she was just with you.
That's what
and it happened to, because I think like they're very aware of everything, or they're in the awareness of everything. So, like somebody that their grandpa always leaves them a dime, their grandpa's not making a dime. Their grandpa just knows there's a dime there. And then this idea pops in your head to look down, and then you find it and you make that connection.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot too. And I was telling that lady that today, actually, because my youngest didn't get to meet his dad. And so I was talking about this because his whole life, when he was younger, he had all these things. Like there was a guy in our neighborhood who taught him how to fix a lawnmower. There was a man in our neighborhood who taught him how to ride a bike, and another guy who taught him how to fix one. And all their names were Mike. And it was like all these Mikes kept coming to my son Michael, but his dad's name was Mike. And so it was just crazy, cool, awesome, weird, if that's a thing.
So,
But-
Caitlin, we are not doing readings tonight. We're really just talking about this and the soul-to-soul communication class that we have coming up in a couple of weeks.
And also, like in that class is how to connect with your loved ones on your own. So this weekend workshop isn't just about connecting with your spidey senses and connecting with the souls around you. It's also like, how do I connect with my loved ones? And so it's really, I think boot camp is a really good word to use for that, because it's just a way to get like in tune with that. And then after that, then we just mentor. We offer another class, but this is the prerequisite to basically everything, because it's the structure of how we teach. So we do that. And then last year, we had several people that continued after that class to work with us privately. And some of them will be helping this year, so that you'll be able to have support from other students, other people that have been through it in addition to us. So let's see. A loved one died from suicide. I can tell you, for Charissa, hopefully I'm saying that right. As someone who has lost someone that way, and I was just talking about how I was helping this lady with that, they're good. So I am not a big believer in like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. Now you're going to suffer even more because of the choice you made. The spirit world is very disconnected from the human experience, meaning they don't have bodies, so they don't have feelings and stuff. And so there's no punishment or consequence regardless of how they died. And now, after all these years of doing readings, I can't say I've ever had anybody say like, oh, this was the most awful thing. I've had them say I made a mistake, but they don't necessarily feel like they feel apologetic, but they love us, and there's no shame with it. Like that's a human situation. Shame, embarrassment, regret, remorse, all that stuff is human.
Yep.
And so I can feel them apologize when I'm doing a reading, but it's because my body becomes the conduit so that they can be kind of human again for just a moment, because that's the way the sitter knows them. They don't know them as this glorious human being or person that was once alive and he's just wonderful and he had no problems and whatever. It's like you got to talk about them the way they are so that the sitter recognizes them. And so that's kind of like a powerful part of all of that.
I'll tell you a funny story. I had a couple made an appointment with me, came to my office, and as I know happens with you a lot, new people don't know nothing about them, the whole bit. So it's a married couple, and I'd say they were in their 40s, early 40s. And as soon as they sat down in my office, in a chair adjacent to us, there was a butt print, like somebody was sitting there. I'm like, right? And so I said, well, someone came with you and sat down. This just saying that made the wife break down crying. She said, our kid just killed himself, whatever. And so I'm not one of these, I'm not a reader who does shtick with people, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not one of those like, oh, I can't say that, not whatever. But this kid, the butt print, is talking to me, and I'm like, I am not going to say that. And they're like, what? What's he saying? And I said, what he told me was he was a lazy shit, and he can't believe the first time he actually did something that it worked. Talking about killing himself, right? And they both laughed out loud. They're like, he was so lazy. And so this was the confirmation to them
That was him.
that he's sitting there,
Yeah.
right? No, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to call some kid that somebody's son who's crossed over lazy.
Yeah.
He
I
did,
know.
called himself lazy. And so to Kim's point, there is no, I've heard like names that you'd know, big authors and celebrities,
Yeah.
psychic celebrities talk about, oh, it's a bad thing. I just don't, when they come through, oftentimes it is just what you said. And when they say they're sorry for the pain they caused.
Yeah.
They're not sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? We all have an exit point. We're all going to die at some point. This was their exit. This was just like a highway. They just got down off the highway. They're done. And so if this is really recent for you, I don't want you to have to worry about this. Grief is awful, and you're going to have to work through the grief of this. But at some point, come to a place where this is the decision they made, and love them, love the life they had, and if you feel them around, you're probably not going to feel them, I'm sorry. What you're going to feel is, I'm around. I just want you to know that I'm around.
Yep. And that is a lot of people, they will come in and they say, I don't know why. I just keep feeling they're around me. But when they feel that they're around them, it's like, oh, maybe you could have done something else, or maybe you should have. But that's our human experience, because most of the time, if they're around us, it's because they love us and they're fine. So nobody's over there suffering. Sometimes I always say, like, they're in heaven, we're in hell, because they have no adversity over
Right.
there. And so it's a lot easier to learn when you have all your answers at the back of the book. So if you're in awareness of everything, then the healing kind of stops a little bit, or it's not as powerful as it is here. But often, like, souls will stick around us, because I don't think time is real. They stick around us as long as we need them. They try to kind of, I always call it now, grease the pan, so things just flow for us, especially if we struggle with their losses and stuff like that. So, but thank you for sharing that. Or whoever asked that question, Jill, a while ago, and Charissa for sharing that information, because that's like a lot of people. I think questions about suicide and murder and all this stuff, I mean, it's just very different in the spirit world. Like,
I'm going to comment on Berta's comment here. I feel family members. If there's anything, I think most of the people that come to classes with Kim and I, or come to, both of us do individual classes, we do classes together. I don't think most of the people coming to classes are looking to become a psychic reader. I think they want to just be tuned into like a greater reality. Okay. So Berta, when you feel family members around, your takeaway, I'm just offering this out here. I would like you to think about this, that no one ever really dies. So there is this continuity of life, that you were not here at one point, and then you were born into this place. People that you love, their journeys are over, but they don't go anywhere. And those people will be waiting for you when your life is done, and you will be visiting the people that you love. Like, it's this, I want to hold hands and sing, circle of life thing type deal, because it's this glorious, beautiful picture of the world that if you're of the mindset of dead is dead, then there's a weird finality to our lives. But if you think, hey, this is the part I'm playing right now, at some point I'm going to lose this costume and get to play another part. Yay! So when you feel family members around, they're just telling you, I have not gone anywhere.
Yep.
I'm just here.
I don't even think time is real.
Yeah,
so
me either.
there's that. But yeah, you know what though? Like, I think like when we first started, just even to now, like paying attention to that stuff, things that people call coincidence, but really they're They're more like synchronistic kind of events. But when those come and we start noticing them and we start noticing the pattern and recognizing the pattern, it makes life just a little more magic. Instead of dull and, oh my God, why did this person treat me this way? Or feeling like you always have to struggle with work and everything. Like sometimes there's just a little magic in the air. And that little magic is noticing the people, the souls that might be around us, because they really don't go anywhere. And actually, I think, my opinion, and I think Charles probably agrees with me on this, is that a lot of our loved ones are now a frequency. They don't have bodies anymore, but they're a frequency. And we have lots of frequencies in this world that we can't tune into. Like dogs can hear fire engines far further away than we can, because we don't have the ability to tap into that sound frequency until we're like chemically able to do it or biologically able to do it. And lots of animals see ultraviolet light, and that's a visual kind of frequency that we don't tune into. So when they're around us, like when they're around us and our lives are happening, they're a frequency of energy that's just there. They haven't gone anywhere. So, and then people are like, well, don't they have a job? Don't they have something to do? No, they don't. They don't have to do any of that. Sometimes they can be a conduit for other souls to heal or whatever, but we sometimes just equate them too much to what we're experiencing, that we have to make it relatable like that. But
wouldn't that suck to die? And now
I
I'm
know,
in
and I have to
the
go
I'm
to
work
work.
in the post office in heaven.
so, the heaven post office, that'd be like an awful job.
Like this, just what do you call it when
Oh, the little postmark.
right, like a postmark, like just postmarking like one letter,
Yeah.
one letter, one letter.
That would be the most boring job.
Well, I think that's true. You and I've talked about this too. We can only imagine whatever this is over here through our own experiences.
Yeah.
So you and I laugh oftentimes about the universe isn't that organized.
No, it's
And
not.
so people will be like, well, there's this and this and this and this happened. And then the universe was thinking, I don't know about that, because the universe doesn't seem that organized. But
It really does.
but to us, we have to work because we think everything happens.
Yeah.
For a reason. Everything happens. There's some organization behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's not as
Maybe
much
not.
organization as I have. Okay.
Monique says hi.
Hi, Monique. So we have this class coming up, and I just want to say this because we just want to come online and talk for a little while. And what does that say? I have a kind of tough question. Where did that go? Oh, there you go. Tough question. Knowing what you know, not bad on the other side. People who take themselves out aren't punished or suffering, and knowing how difficult this life, I have a kind of tough question. Knowing what you know. So, life is hard. Like I said, this
Shit
is hell. This is hell. They're in heaven. And life is really the experience you make it. So there isn't really like we're supposed to be here to experience this existence, and dipping out early doesn't save you from ever experiencing that experience here again. Because I don't know, maybe you reincarnate here, somewhere else, maybe it's parallel universe, multiverse. But there isn't like judgment, and punishment comes from humans, and they did the wrong thing comes from people because we have judgment. But that is part of the limitations of being a human being versus a spirit person. So there's not really any judgment regardless of how somebody passes. And that's really hard sometimes for people to understand because they're in so much pain, and they could see all the potential someone had to live a full life and all of that. And I've definitely been in that spot myself. But over time, I've just kind of come to realize like they're good. We are the ones struggling. And that's why they're around us, because life is hard. And I think it's just designed that way.
And organized religions have told us that. It's a sin to take your life. But at some point, you may not buy into the organized religion as much. Michelle, I want to share something, just see if, as a tweak. I served for 30 years as a minister in a church. And here's my take. Whatever it is that sparks life into existence, this whatever we're experiencing here, it's kind of like Universal Studios. Like, we come here to have this experience. We come here to ride a ride that scares us and to eat really rich food. And if you've ever been to be in the sun and stand in lines and just everything. But there are no expectations. So if you consider yourself a good person, you've made that choice to be a good person. And there are people in our world that are not good people. They've made that choice. But each of us dies. And when we get back, we just go back to source. And there is no heavenly gatekeeper there pointing fingers. Kim, you could have been a better person. We all could have been better people. We are not, all of us. I mean, I'm great, but the rest of you, whatever. But that includes, we don't know what life's plan are. To Kim's thing, if you're going to experience reincarnation over and over and over, you're going to have all these different lives. You're going to be male, you're going to be female, you're going to be gay, you're going to be straight, you're going to be black, you're going to be white, you're going to be a king, you're going to be a slave, you're going to be rich and dirt poor, you're going to die young and die old and die alone and die, right? Mm. So one of those experiences would be to check out early. Yeah. At your own hand. Yep. That would be one. And if you can be okay with that, I don't want that to ever be a spiritual shortcut to make grief go away, because when you lose someone that you love, regardless of the circumstances, it sucks, capital S. But if you can have a place in your heart to kind of understand that might help.
Yeah. And then I see that, wait, that's different. Oh, that is Michelle. Okay, same Michelle, another comment. So, and as someone who's experienced suicide, and because my kid's dad died, and that's why I started doing this, and now I talk about suicide all the time, it's like it was their choice. And what also comes through in readings too is not just that it was their choice, but if they were intoxicated, or if they were doing something stupid, or I don't know. There was somebody here the other day. He overdosed. It was a spirit that was here, and his friends were here, and he just said, "Oh yeah, that was dumb. It wasn't the first dumb thing I ever did." And it's just like, it's so matter of fact that it didn't come with heaviness or anything like that. And they laughed because they said that's exactly him. He's like, "Oh, I do dumb shit all the time." And so this is a time where it worked. But as far as that goes, like, they're not suffering. Nothing like that happens. I think that we have organized religions saying that had said those things for hundreds of years. Don't do that. It's bad. But that's also their parishioners and how they made money and how they kept people coming to their whatever. They didn't want them to take their life, or they also didn't want them to eat pork or do whatever. And so the thing is like, it's different for every soul that comes here, and they get to choose how they're going to experience this. And just like all of you, I'm sure lots of people that find silver linings or learn from stuff. And then there's plenty of people that don't learn shit. And so it's kind of like our experience. We get to decide what we're going to do. So like you said, with Universal Studios or whatever, I'm like, ooh, I want to go on this ride and this ride, but I don't want to go on this one. And so it's like, there's an experience that I'm choosing every day. And then when I get to the spirit world, then I can reflect on that and see maybe if I wanted to do something else at some other time.
So there's an interesting follow-up. I don't know how we got on the subject, but what would you say to someone who's considering suicide? So if someone were in my office and talked about this, I would probably talk about choice. Mm-hmm. I really honor people's choice. I may not like it. Of course, this would be me as a third party, right? If you're talking to a kid or a family member or whatever, you're probably not going to talk to them about choice. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. And a lot of people take their own lives because they feel they have no choice. So if you give them the choice, leave if you want, stay if you want. But I don't believe in no choice, no win. I just don't believe that. We have sucky days. We've all had sucky days. I'm sure you have sucky days ahead. I'm sure I have sucky days ahead. But I don't ever get to the place where I feel like I have no choice.
Well, and then also just on the other side of that is that like sometimes somebody comes in and they've lost someone that way, especially like a child, and they've lost someone that way. And the spirit in the spirit world will mention, hey, the other night you were thinking you didn't want to do this anymore, but I was there, and I was there to kind of like lift your spirits or help you through it. But I don't think that the dead people want people to be gone. Wait, what happened? There we go. I don't think that. I think our loved ones are there in support of us. And so even the dead people who've done something like that, and then someone they know is considering it, I feel like the souls are aware of the fact that this experience is unique and it's not permanent. So all of the things that we might feel like are permanent problems tend to change. Everything changes. That's one thing you can count on, that and dying. So it's like you're going to experience change and you're going to die. All of us are. And so the changes that happen, how we react to them or how we choose to experience them is like entirely up to us. So choice, but also though, like I've had people say that they wanted to die and come to me with that. And I always have like some information for them of people that they can ask for help. I know that I have felt like that at different times. I felt like that when their dad died. I have felt absolutely shitty and like I didn't want to be here, but I also now I'm on the other side of that where I feel awesome and I'm happy to be here. So everything changes. And so I'd remind people of that and also give them like resources on things that they can do to get help, whether, it's getting over a loss or whether it's because they've lost their job and their home, whatever it is. I try to give them resources, but I think like our loved ones that are over there, they want us to stay because especially if they die that way, they want us to stay because they still get to be connected to this world through us and through our senses. So they don't want you to leave either because they know there's no time and you guys will catch up again and have another life where something else kind of crazy happens somewhere else in the universe. What you got? Hi to everybody saying hi. What is that one? Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Deanna.
Oh, okay. She said she had to leave.
So we're
Okay.
at 35 minutes already.
Yes. We're at 35 minutes and I said only 30. So here we are. If you guys are interested in this class that we're teaching, it is on, I think, the 25th and 26th. It's here at my office. It's 2 full days, so it's a weekend intensive. After that, we offer, if you want to continue on the path, several more classes to kind of get you deeper into it. But this is kind of like a boot camp. You will have lots of experiences with this. You'll have great experiences. You'll find out how to like listen to yourself and how to kind of like move ahead with an understanding of your intuition, and also how to connect with your loved ones on your own, because I promise you they want to talk to you more than they want to talk to me. Okay. Like we're
That's absolutely
we're
true.
just a telephone.
Yeah.
That's it. We're just a conduit for them to talk to you because they love you. And that's the only thing that even makes a reading happen is the fact that they love you and that's why they're there. So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
If you feel drawn, you should at least go look at the information on Kim's website. I can't emphasize this enough. I think everyone wants to be, if you're interested on this path, I want interested in this stuff. You might be on this path already, and this might be the next step for you to jump in and spend a couple days with people. Look, we're going to laugh. Chances are you're probably going to cry, and then we'll laugh again. It's, you know what? It's life in a nutshell, right? We're going to laugh a lot more than cry. We might cry. I told this story several times. The class we did last year, we did an exercise. You and I did an exercise with the students where they were reading us.
yeah.
And I chose a name of somebody I'm completely done with. I don't have any issues about this at all. Next thing you know, I got crocodile tears and snot bubbles and the whole, dude, she was right on this information. And it was great for her because she was having,
Yeah, she's getting validation.
she was getting all this kind of validation. So come down and have fun with us.
Yeah.
See if the path doesn't open up for you. I know Spirit wants to speak with each one of us. We all have spirit guides. We have family and friends and loved ones around us. And it's not about learning a new skill. It's just learning how to drop the shields a little
Yeah.
bit so they can get through.
To uncover your own abilities to connect with them, because life has a way of making you think they're gone forever. And well, actually our culture does.
It's a cultural thing,
It is.
right? You can't really walk into your boss office and say, well, listen, I can't tell the story about my mom in just
Yeah.
any situation. I can't talk about I'm in King. So people are like, well, you miss your mommy. Oh, well, that might be it.
Yeah. But also,
yeah, just
exactly.
the whole crazy thing. So it's just a fun environment to be in.
Yes. And the people that are there generally are all there with a similar connection. The people that take the class with us, which is you, whoever wants to take it. But it's like a similar vibe. And people, I know that two of my very best friends I met, Dina is one of the people that I met, and my friend Angela, I met them on the first day of psychic class in 2005. And I still talk to people from those classes I originally took years and years ago, because sometimes you just develop these really awesome bonds with people and you find your tribe. So if you're not finding your tribe outside of you, then if you go into this event or into this class, you might find members of your tribe that you wouldn't have met any other way.
We have an alumni in here. Carrie says an alumni of Kim and Charles's class was absolutely amazing. The class is transformative and was so much fun. We really did have a good time.
We did.
And to be honest, I'm pretty sure you feel this way. I'm a lifelong student.
Me too.
I showed up. You and I did this. I showed up to help you do this class. Next thing you know, I'm crying, right? I'm having experiences and I'm learning stuff with everyone else that we're learning with. It was so much fun.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
And I like
Thank you,
that kind of stuff, of like getting to be in a group. But thank you very much, Carrie. We appreciate it. And I think actually I'm supposed to I might have to return a text message to her that I never did. God, that's me, Miss Reliable. Shit. I will be responding, Carrie, to you in a little bit, because I just saw your name and I was like, oh shit. So I will respond to your text in a little while. But anyway, can you tell I have ADHD?
And I'm being a little OCD. The windows behind me and the windows behind you look like we're in different places, but Kim's really just a foot. You're not 2 feet from me. Our feet keep touching. But with the window here and the window, it looks like we're.
That's so weird.
It's like it's a split
like
screen.
We're split. I'm like, he's right here.
Right. Stop talking.
Exactly. Anyway, so Stephanie's posting that information. If you guys are interested, and Carrie, thank you for your feedback about that. We appreciate it. And I will return a text to you.
Yay.
But it was nice to see all you guys. Thanks for thanks for participating. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us. And hopefully you or maybe you know someone who might be interested in this, and all the information is on my website. It's on Charles's. He has links to it as well. So all are welcome. All levels are welcome. So thank you guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Oh, wait. There we go.